Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Underrated Mages. They'll be doing a video discussing Fairy Tail 2018 preview. Now, when it comes to the Fairy Tail anime, we know that it's going to be a turn, and yes, everybody's excited for it. Me personally, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see this stuff animated, even though I'm not saying it's all 100% fire. I just can't wait to see the Fairy Tail series animated, because one thing that I did enjoy about Fairy Tail was without a doubt the anime. That's actually how I got into the series, was through the anime on Netflix. Man, just saying that brings back so much memories. But yeah, me personally, I'm still excited for the Fairy Tail anime. I can't wait for it to come back. But I'm gonna be doing a video discussing what you guys, the anime onlys, can expect from the Fairy Tail anime, and basically why I definitely do think that you guys are going to be in for a treat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, the main thing that I want to say that you guys will like, you guys are so lucky if you guys are anime onlys and you're planning on watching the 2018 anime, because the number one thing you guys most likely won't have to deal with is filler. Yes, filler. No more filler whatsoever. And this is good because, number one, the Fairy Tail manga is ended. So, and if you guys don't know, usually whenever filler gets added to a series, it's when an anime is getting close to a manga, whereas they don't want the anime to be like right up the manga's butt, you know, when it comes to content. You know, they like having it spaced out a bit. So let's say if an anime and a manga are both in the same arc, they might throw some filler, like a filler arc or a couple filler scenes in there to slow down the anime so it doesn't get too close to the manga. But the thing that's good about Fairy Tail is the fact that the Fairy Tail anime is over, or the Fairy Tail manga is over. They have all the room they could work with. Like, they could finish the series in like 2 days if they wanted to. That's how much time they could do. So really, the filler, there should be no filler unless it's like I honestly can't see them doing filler at all, unless they're really trying to like milk Fairy Tail out, because yeah, there's no manga. They don't have to like follow behind, or they still have to follow the manga, but you know, they don't have to be, you know, trailing behind it, worrying if they're going to catch up. So yeah, that's dope. No filler for 2018 Fairy Tail anime. The next thing that I want to discuss is the animation. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory. The Fairy Tail, the first Fairy Tail anime that came out, the animation was solid. You know, it was good. You know, it had some little moments here and there, but for the most part, it was good. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the animation a lot. You know, it was vibrant and everything. You know, it was good. I enjoyed the first Fairy Tail anime. Fairy Tail 2014, the animation, it was, me personally, I was not the biggest fan of the Fairy Tail 2014 animation. I thought that it was a bit too stiff. You know, I thought the tone was like darker, and I can understand why they made it a little bit darker, because when they did start off like with the 2014 anime, they picked up from a very dark spot with the Grand Magic game. So they tried to like use the contrast and the colors to like tone down to like kind of fit like the theme. So I can understand why they did that. And even with the Tartaros, they made it look, you know, a little bit like, you know, it was kind of like darker, the tone, like the contrast and all that stuff. I wasn't a big fan of that, and I don't think that the animation for the 2014 anime was, you know, subpar. You know, I think that they definitely could have did better. The animation just felt stiff, you know, the movements, everything. I wasn't a big fan of the 2014 anime when it came to like the animation and production. So the one thing that I do gotta say about the 2018 anime though, the new one, is that there should be great animation, simply because, number one, they're gonna have a whole budget. Like, they're not, I don't think you guys understand on how good the animation should be. Like, they're gonna have a good budget, everything. So I definitely do think that the animation should be on point when it comes to Fairy Tail anime. I hope it's something similar to the not the 2014, but the first one, whereas it didn't feel stiff or anything. So I do think that the animation will be good. Now, the next one is kind of a little bit minor, but you know I have to bring this up. And this is the soundtrack, the OST, the themes, all that. I definitely do think that Fairy Tail, they're going to have some fire OSTs. Like, I'm talking about straight up flames, heat. Like, I think the soundtracks are going to be dope, and that's really to come with any Fairy Tail anime, because all the Fairy Tail animes, they've had like good soundtrack. You know, they had great playlists and everything. So this is kind of minor, but just know that certain moments, they're gonna, like, you know, the soundtrack is gonna really kick in. I'm one of the people who actually pay attention to like the themes and like the soundtrack whenever it comes on, like the OST. So yeah, you guys definitely have some great things to look forward to when it comes to the music. Now, this one kind of goes along with the filler thing, but another thing you guys are going to have to look forward to is great pacing. Now, like I said before, usually the pacing for series gets really, really bad whenever an anime gets close to a manga. Like, for example, the One Piece anime. If you guys have watched the One Piece anime back when it was during Dressrosa, yeah, you guys were literally experiencing hell, because like the pacing was just off, you know what I'm saying? It was going by so slow and everything. And even with Fairy Tail, moments where the pacing was like really bad. I remember the 2014 anime when we were both in like the Tartaros arc. Yeah, the pacing sometimes felt a little bit spooky. So I definitely do gotta say that now that there is no series or there's no manga, the pacing should be great. You know, I expect them to animate maybe 2 or 3 chapters every episode. You know, that's a lot of content that they can do. So I definitely do gotta say that the pacing will be wonderful, and I can't wait, because yeah, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but yeah, there's gonna be some moments where you just gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. Just know that you guys are gonna have great pacing. And the next thing I want to discuss is the duration, and basically how long the Fairy Tail anime can be. Now, this one is very tricky, because I can see them going 2 ways. Number one, they could go like the straightforward way, you know, the I guess you could say like the honest route, you know what I'm saying? Whereas they just animate it just like completely how it's supposed to be done. You know, maybe make the episode or the series about 50 or so episodes, because they have a decent amount of chapters to work with. Like, they finished, if the 2014 anime, they finished right around the whole time skip thing, and it ended with Lucy and them going on the little journey. So I definitely do gotta say that the Fairy Tail anime, they ended off at a point where they have a lot of content. Like, they still have over 100 chapters, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they still have, I want to say maybe 140, 50 so chapters. So if you do the math right there, 150 divided by 3, that's about 50. Listen, I'm bad at doing math, like right on the spot. Somebody go get a calculator. But yeah, if they do animate 3 or so chapters every episode, then yeah, basically I said they have around like 150 chapters left. So that divided by 3, you guys can do the math. Yeah, that is basically how long the Fairy Tail anime could be if they decide to do it like straight up and just do it like, you know, without any milking. But I could see them going the other route and then basically trying to milk out the Fairy Tail series, and that could lead to bad things. Because listen, don't get me wrong, as long as we're getting a Fairy Tail anime, that's good. But if they do milk out the Fairy Tail anime and stretch it out and make it maybe like 100 episodes or maybe like 150 episodes, I think that'll be bad, because they don't have a lot of chapters to work with. And that means that if they do try to stretch it out to like 100 episodes or something, then it could get like fillerized, or it could get bad pacing. The one thing that I can see happening that could make this series stretch out is in canon filler. And I know some guys might be thinking, what's in canon filler? Well, basically it's kind of something that we got like with the Tartaros arc. It's basically when the mangaka, they want to put something in the manga, but for some reason they can't, maybe due to editors, or maybe they just forgot about it and they thought, you know what, this would be smart. So the mangaka, in this case Hiro Mashima, would hit up the studio and they'll basically be like, yo, can you throw this in there? And then they'll throw it in there, and it's considered filler because it wasn't in the manga, but at the same time it's coming straight from the mangaka, so it's coming straight from the person who writes the series. So yeah, you could take it how it is. Me personally, if an author does that, I see that as canon. So maybe the Fairy Tail 2018 anime will have some stuff like that, some in canon filler that might be able to stretch it out. But me personally, if you ask me, I'm hoping they go the 50 episode route, simply because this is the final installment of the Fairy Tail anime. As far as I know right now, we're not going to get there's not going to be too much more extra Fairy Tail content. There might be some movies here and there. So me personally, I would want the Fairy Tail anime to go out with a bang, you know, go out perfectly. But on the other hand, I kind of do want it to, and this is me being a little bit greedy, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm being a little bit greedy. But with this, on the other hand, I would like if they did stretch out the Fairy Tail anime, because then that would be more Fairy Tail content. Like I said, it will probably be badder or worse for the Fairy Tail anime if they did that, but as a fan, as in, you know, just straight up as enjoyment wise, I think I would like it because it would be more Fairy Tail content. But you know, I think it would definitely harm the Fairy Tail anime, so you know, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. You know, me personally, I think that they should go like with the shorter route, because they'll be able to get it all in, you know. And 50 episodes is still pretty long too. Like 50 episodes, I believe that goes through like what, 2 seasons of anime. So yeah, I definitely do think that 50 episodes, not like 50 episodes just gonna go by like that. Like think about it, 50 episodes is 50 weeks, if not more, you know, depending on when they go on break. So 50 episodes is still a lot, but if they do 100, yeah, that's even more. So yeah, overall, that's basically it for the Fairy Tail anime. If you guys want a quick little rundown on what you guys can expect, number one, no filler. I don't think there will be any filler in the Fairy Tail 24 in the 2018 anime, unless it's like in canon filler. I don't think we're gonna have like filler arcs or anything, because really there's no point for that. Number two, the animation should be on point. You know, they're gonna have a lot of budget to work with. They're gonna be able to dump the remaining budgets of the Fairy Tail anime all in to this final one. Soundtrack on point, you know, the OSTs, everything. I expect them to actually go ham, because there's going to be a lot of great moments with the OST. Good pacing. Number four is actually good pacing. You know, I expected to have good pacing. They don't have a manga that they gotta try to like not step on the back of the shoe of, you know, they can just go all out. And then number five is the length of it. Me personally, I think 50 episodes would do it justice. Maybe 60, 75, but somewhere around the 50 to like the 65 range. Nothing like too long, like 100, 150 or anything like that. But overall, that's basically it for this little video. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.